What's going on? Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated, getting ready for Ohio State and Rutgers. I'm Brendan Gulith, along with Tommy Zagorski, who is not necessarily live on site at the Buckeyes game, but he's got football on in the background. Wanted to touch base real quick and just talk a couple keys to the game for Ohio State and Rutgers as we get rolling here this afternoon. Coach, what are your thoughts here as we get ready for the game?
Well, Brendan, first of all, I'm live from the Cider Bowl here in Norton. It's a tied 6-6 match here with the fourth graders or fifth graders. Everybody's playing right now. So you Buckeye fans that are following along. But, no, realistically, the biggest thing right now for Ohio State is going to be make sure Ryan Day gets this team started fast. They can't play catch-up. They're a young football team. If they play catch-up in this game, it's going to be a tough one in Piscataway because, Rutgers is going to do what? Rutgers is going to run the football effectively. They're going to play really, really good defensive football, and they're going to be outstanding on the third facet in special teams. So it's important that Ryan Day gets these guys started fast, something quick, something explosive to kind of put Rutgers any of the dreams that they have to quelch early in the game.
We just found out within the last hour or so that Mayan Williams is not available for today's game. The Buckeyes will, I would assume, use a heavy dose of Travion Henderson and Master Teague. Evan Pryor got in the end of the game last week. I'm not sure Evan's going to see a ton of carries unless the score widens a bit today. Fair to assume a pretty heavy dose of Travion Henderson.
Yeah, you would hope so early, especially for the fact that he's been the most explosive freshman in the country. Giving him the ball early keeps your defense off the field. It allows you to score, and it's allowed you to go between this. I'm about to get scored on right here, Brendan, actually. It's the opportunity to see with Travion to give him the ball early, get behind this offensive line. Thayer Munford's available. Potentially Harry Miller's going to play. So you're going to see kind of this veteran offensive line that everyone's been wanting to see the first 3-4 weeks. Let them set their pads early. Let the Rutgers know they're in a game they can't win.
How about on the defensive side of the ball for the Buckeyes? Obviously, there's all these question marks are coming back into Big Ten play, and the hope is that Ohio State has worked out some of these things that have been frustrating for them the last few weeks. They're going to play a team that's more talented than what they saw last week, and probably what they saw than 2 weeks ago. Your biggest keys for Ohio State defense today?
Defensively, let the defensive line play today. Haskell Garrett's got to have another big day. If he can penetrate early during the game, especially inside in the A and B gaps, it's going to allow the defense now to really be conscious of letting those linebackers play outside those inside gaps. So if they can do that early, it gives them the ability to go play real good defense. And hopefully, like I said, the secondary should be in pretty good shape. They don't throw the ball a lot. They haven't turned the ball over yet. But, if Ronnie Hickman or one of the guys in the secondary can force a turnover early, it's really going to have Rutgers question kind of what they're trying to do and their formula that they've had for success to be 3-1 at this point.
I mean, through 4 games, you said it. Noah Vedral hasn't thrown an interception. They protect the ball well, and I would anticipate that Ohio State's going to try to make life a little bit more difficult for him to read the defense quickly. But you never know. I think the Buckeyes have to find a way to make things complicated for him and try to create a turnover early in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Barnes I spent all week working at different ways to paint a picture that's going to make it difficult for the veteran quarterback and make mistakes. And if he can do that, it's going to be early for them. And we know offensively what the Buckeyes can do. And maybe he can get to that total you had earlier in the week up in the 40s.
I think 48-20 is a good look for the Buckeyes today. I think that's very possible. C.J. Stroud back under center today or out of the gun. Looking forward to seeing what C.J. is going to do. What do you want to see from him in that first quarter to know that he looks settled and healthy?
Confident and following through with his mechanics. They gave an extra week to work on it. He probably didn't throw a football the week that they played Akron. They're getting him back into the line, swing of things. And, let him go complete the ball, but let Travion Henderson run first. Don't worry about CJ trying to get early throws. He'll get his opportunity to throw the football. I mean, he's throwing to an all-star cast with Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and the rest of the crew. So, don't be afraid to let him go early in the game. Make some throws here and there. And if C.J. Stroud can go, 5-6, 7-9 early, that confidence is going to be back with him and confidence with those receiver crew and really get to that total you were talking about before.
Well, the weather should be good. The Buckeyes are as confident right now as they've been at any point, and the fact that this is a young team, I think, is starting to look more and more in the rearview mirror. We've talked a lot about youth, but I think the fact is these guys have seen enough time now where, hey, look, you played a month's worth of games. It's not about youth anymore. You got to start playing like veterans.
Absolutely, you got to play like Buckeyes. There's a reason that you're in that opportunity. There's a reason that you're wearing the scarlet and gray. Come out and play that way and prove that early. And I think that's going to be a big thing for Ryan Day and this crew. It's a business trip. You know, they flew into Jersey. You know, it's a 3:30 start. Get in here, get what you need to get done, get back on the plane, and build off of this, and get ready for next week with Maryland, who got trounced last night. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in the week.
Yeah, Iowa looked awfully good as Maryland threw not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 7 interceptions in last night's game. We'll hit on that a little bit later for sure. In the meantime, our favorite sideline reporter will let you get back to being on the sideline, watching your 4th and 5th grade game or whatever's going on behind you. Have fun, and thanks for checking in. Keys to the game for the Buckeyes against Rutgers.
Brendan, I'm really sorry. There was a real controversial call right here. The young man had an end around here to the end zone I was going in, and he was bobbling the ball as he went into the end zone. There's no review here, so the officials got the other 2 on the crew, and they called it a touchback. I think it's because we're here in Norton. So 6-6 here, still in the second quarter for you Buckeye fans that are trying to follow along at home.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for checking in. See you soon.
Go Bucks.